Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of the TV Tray Sessions here at Guitar Talk with Todd. Thank you so much for checking in and joining me today. We have an awesome piece of Gibson guitar memorabilia from the Norlin era of Gibson in the 70s, 1977. Actually, this is an official Gibson replacement parts catalog. I've had this for years. It was originally given to dealers. These went to several dealers and Gibson sales reps in the 1970s. And this catalog was used from 77 to 82 for these parts. And you can see it's got the embossed Gibson logo on here. And it's in amazing condition. It still even has a somewhat new scent to it. It's got the Gibson logo on the spine there, and so let's just look inside of this thing and open it up here. You've got just various things: Gibson merchandising parts price list, TP6 fine tuning tailpiece, chrome was $32.95, and the gold was $38.95. Nashville 2-pneumatic bridge, chrome was $28.95. Gold was $38.95. It's just various, things that I don't know if we're going to go through every one of these in here. This is actually paperwork that is dated 1981. So like I said, this came out in 77, but it's got just numerous parts on here. Pretty much anything you could think of that you could get for a Gibson guitar, electric or acoustic, or even replacement bass parts, or the machine heads right down to screws going on in here. This is a Gibson merchandising parts price list from 1982. So this was actually thrown in here as, the prices changed and the years went on. And like I said, this is about as late as this went. And then they just issued new catalogs, I'm assuming in 1983. We have like the tabs up here. This is machine head sets and components. So you've got your different pickups on here and different parts that you can see going through. Like I said, I'm just going to kind of thumb through here. But if you're a Gibson fan like I am, and I know many of you are that watch this show and tune into the channel, you appreciate stuff like this. It's just cool to still have something like this. Down here at the bottom, it actually says replacement parts catalog 1977. So here you go with Schaller bass guitar, machine head, chrome, Klusen parts, Grover parts, Schaller, was being used on a lot of Gibson stuff in the late 70s and early 80s. Got your different machine heads. Even some stuff listed there for mandolin parts, electrical assemblies and components. Here's our next section. So we've got, top hat knobs, witch hat knobs, various things here, potentiometers, all kinds of, toggle switch, mode switch, rotary, pointer knob, switch knob, single choke, mini jack, all kinds of, like I said, pretty much anything you could get for a Gibson guitar at that time. So it's just kind of cool to thumb through here. Like I said, I know anybody who's a fan of Gibson, it's just always cool to see these old things. And this was what was happening in 1977. And like I said, they would usually give these out to dealers, and they'd keep the same catalog for about 4 years, and if there was any price changes, they'd add those sheets like we were looking at in the beginning. There's your humbucker pickups on the last page, poker chips, and all this kind of stuff. Control jack nut, jack washer, any of the switch washer. I mean, pretty much any parts you could think of, even some stuff that some people might think, I'm going to run to the hardware store and just grab that. Well, you could get it directly from a Gibson dealer if you ordered it through here. Les Paul bass and Les Paul Triumph, Les Paul recording, which was still going at that time. Marauder, so it's some different models in here. This section is tailpiece assemblies and components. So you've got the Gibson, these are like mandolin tailpieces that you had here. It's really cool stuff. A Johnny Smith tailpiece, Super 400. All right, this is section 4, bridge assemblies and components. So there's your bridges there, 6-string, non-adjustable flat top bridges. And you've got like your 12 strings and pretty much everything you could get that you would need for any type of Gibson guitar, Gibson bass, or mandolin as well. 2 pneumatic bridges, bass bridges. Over here we have our Schaller 2 pneumatic style, what you would call a harmonica bridge. Truss rod covers is this next section. So we have like the Birdland Custom, the Dove J200, Heritage Custom, Custom L5, got everything covered there for your truss rod covers. Les Pauls, of course, the Custom, Les Paul Bass, Deluxe, SG Custom, Les Paul Recording. So, keep in mind, no internet at this time. So you weren't going online looking for any of this stuff. If you wanted a lot of these, you had to go to a Gibson dealer and they would look this up and they would call Gibson and say, hey, I need, C, the 19381 cover that's on page 2, section 5 in the book, and they would get it for you. So it's really cool, like we're saying, to see stuff like this that's still intact. Finger rest assemblies and components. It's the section we're in right here. It's amazing, like I said, the condition this is in. The pages are not torn at all. I'm not sure the whole history of this. I got this from someone who got it from someone else who was a Gibson dealer. The store has long since been closed and doesn't look like this was used very much, and I always keep all of my stuff in immaculate condition. So this is pretty much just stored away and has been stored away for years since I've owned it, and I just thought it would be a cool thing to feature here on the channel today for an episode, just so you guys can get a peek at this. So we're almost at the end here. Section 7 is banjo parts. So we've got banjo parts used on current 1971 to 1972 style 250 and 800 series. And then section 8, which is just miscellaneous parts. So you have various things here like wood end pins with pearl dot, tin eyelet, just various things, various screws and whatnot that don't really have a specific category necessarily, but are still in the catalog. And then we're at the end here, and like we said, this is just an immaculate condition. It still actually has like I was saying earlier, a new smell to it. Like I said, Gibson embossed here, and then you've got the gold Gibson logo, replacement parts, catalog, and Gibson on the spine. Very good shape and just a very cool piece to have. So thought I would share that with you guys today. Hope you enjoyed that. Please comment below. Have you seen one of these? Do you remember ordering parts at a Gibson dealer and maybe you saw something like this or anything else from this era? I know a lot of the Gibson dealers, anything they had, the various catalogs and stuff, had this look that was a total 70s thing with this logo and the brown. It was what they did with all of their parts catalogs and whatnot that they would use during that era. So let me know if you have another piece of Gibson memorabilia or if you've seen one of these. Comment below. I always love to hear about anything from the Norlin era, any great 70s Les Pauls or Gibson guitars there that you guys have and want to talk about. Please comment below, as I love to hear. Please hit that subscribe button, you guys, and help me out. You know I appreciate it. Find me on Facebook at Todd Beebe Music, and we will see you all again. Stay safe and love your dogs. Take care.